Cause I'm the 55 Cadillac King. It ain't no thing. My cargo ring. Bust you in the crib. I got the skill. You got to chill. Cause I bring doom. I got the boom. Shalaka laka boom. Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 129. My name is Matthew Keel. I'm at Infinite_Rewind on every social media platform conceivable in the known universe. Alongside member Bro Bros, Moose, say hi.
What's up?
You can find him at Sven on every social media platform. He twitches, he's an affiliate, and he streams. And he talks about PlayStation on Nerds Gone Plat. Also in tow, Video in Chief, Corey Deering. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Cool.
I'm full.
Awesome.
From dinner, you know, it's good.
You can find him at Corey in HD86 everywhere. Last time we talked on Facebook, you were in the midst of attempting to change that, but apparently some shit went wrong. So you're
here's the thing. On Xbox, I was trying to change my name back to Rogue Spartan 4 because I don't know. Corey in HD doesn't sound like a cool handle for Xbox, right? It's just a cool Twitter thing, it's a cool Twitch thing, but it's not a cool Xbox thing.
What is a cool Xbox thing?
I bet your mom XXX
XX Bud Smoke Up 420. I mean,
yeah,
is that what you're looking for?
That's my new Xbox name is Bang Bang Buzz 420.
Nice.
XXL.
The worst of the Lightyear brothers.
Yeah.
So apparently
I did change it though on Xbox.
You did change it. So are you back to Rogue Spartan or
it's Rogue Spartan 713 because that's my daughter's birthday.
Oh, okay. All right.
Why not?
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, changed it.
So it seems like Xboxers can, bag on Sony for not being able to change the names. But apparently it comes with its own set of problems.
It does. You lose progress, trophies. Can't lose those trophies.
Trophies on Xbox?
No. It's funny because they changed the achievement icon to a trophy.
Yeah, they did. I remember when that happened.
Unless you get a really rare achievement, then it's a diamond. Ooh. And it makes a different sound, a different chime sound. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing that always sort of ticked me off about trophies. Like a platinum should have its own like sort of grandiose tone, whereas it's just a ding.
Yeah, it should be like this big, huge, like musical interlude.
Mm-hmm.
So
it should be like you remember like in the Star Wars movies the way the credits come in, not the beginning but the end credits where it's like like that one. It should be that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe that's something.
Figure it out, Sony.
Who am I fooling? They ain't gonna figure anything out.
Nope, they're not. They're not at all. You guys playing anything?
Yeah. I've been playing that. Been playing that Destiny. Moose chimed in on my stream.
It did. It was fun.
Yeah.
Watching waste.
I needed to boost up my Warlock on Xbox, so I texted my friend Mitch, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Playing Destiny all night." I said, "All right, I'm in." So
sweet.
8:30, turned on my Xbox, played some Destiny.
10:30 went to bed.
Nope. I thought we were going to be done at like 11 or 11:30. I didn't go to bed till like 4:30.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Yeah. In that time, beat Forsaken, the
Cool.
whole campaign, unlocked the Dreaming City,
Sweet.
did 7 rounds of Escalation Protocol, which is like their horde mode on Mars.
Awesome.
I completed 4 steps in my Sleeper Simulant quest.
Cool.
And we ran some strikes because that was part of the quest. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was a good time. Let me tell you, I hate the Warlock. I should have chose a different character. I hate that jump. I hate the supers. I hate just the Warlock's the worst. It's the worst.
Well, I think when I think that was ultimately my disappointment with Destiny is like the sound of the Warlock class. It like sounded cool.
Yeah.
And then it's just not.
It does sound cool. And actually, like, the Warlock is pretty viable in the raid but you have to have like a certain setup and certain gear. But like, you can grant people like unlimited ammo and like, you know, just a healing rift and all kinds of things. So like, in the raid, it's pretty viable. But there's other classes that are better out in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Right, like the Titan.
Yeah, like the Titan. Like the Titan. Titan's the best.
I knew that would stroke you a little bit. You like your Titan.
Yeah, I do. Like me a good Titan.
Play anything else?
Played some more Super Mario Brothers U.
Cool.
I mean, it's a 2D Mario game, a very good one, but still, played it before. It's nothing new.
Much maligned 2D. Although the funny thing is, Jeremy Parrish, he called that the best of the Mario series.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Parrish knows what he's talking about.
It's a good one. You know, it's a good one. I don't know if it's the best, but it's, in terms of the Mario games that I like, it's probably top 5.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, you're not a 3D Mario guy, are you?
No, not really. I did enjoy Mario 64, but Mario Odyssey, there's just so much. It was kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
Not 120 stars was a lot. You're going to give me 880 moons to go find?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think aren't there 1,000 now?
I don't know. Are there?
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't turned that game on since I rolled credits the first time. So
yep, that's kind of where I'm like, I did that. I'm good.
Since you know, Peach blew off Mario to go and Bowser.
Yeah.
And they just looked at each other like confused, like, who? Yeah.
Yeah, like honest, like wait, we never thought the option was she could take none of us.
Yeah.
Turns out you both can be shitty.
True.
Who would have thought?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
There's one. Oh, I started playing so I've been continuing my trek through Mutineer Zero.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great game. Like if you guys ever get a chance to play it, you should play it. It's really good.
I bought it. I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Oh, it's so good. It's really good. Although I'm in this conundrum now because they are planning on announcing it for Switch soon, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm already this far in the Xbox version.
Yeah. Well, we had that conversation last week where you only have it on Game Pass, so your investment is little, if any.
That's true. Yeah. But my time invested in this game is now. It's approaching a point where like I would question actually purchasing the game.
So you're right. Is it one of those like, you know, I did this much, I don't want to do this again?
Yeah, I'm almost at that point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, that point in most games for me is like
5 minutes in.
An hour. like next weekend.
I've seen the title screen. I don't need to do this again.
Yeah. Like next weekend is the Anthem demo. The Anthem demo comes out for people who pre-ordered it. And I want to play it, but I know your progress doesn't carry over.
It's why I don't like demos. It's one reason why I don't like demos.
I know, but I have to play it.
If your progress carried over in some form, like, hey, you played and got a bunch of resources.
I think you get some rewards for playing the demo.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but I don't know what it is.
Something in the real game, that's fine. Oh, hey, give me like, if you complete all the missions in the demo, you get like a certain amount of perk points.
Yeah.
the actual game, or you get cash to help like buy stuff for your javelins. Like that would be cool. But I agree with you where they're just like, no, nothing will transfer over. It's just like it's getting more and more likely that I won't try the demo.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna play it because of Javelins for Hire. I know how I feel about like games, like replaying things in games, which is one of the reasons why like I hate having 3 classes in Destiny because you have to play all the content 3 times, and it's like, man, I wish there was an option where like if you beat the campaign with one guy, you don't have to play the campaign again with the other guys. You just kind of move into the open world and do the stuff, you know. That campaign, man.
Or you can allocate the experience.
There's something about the campaign in Destiny, man, that's like it's not fun. Like I've tried to love it, you know, like don't get me wrong, I enjoyed playing it once. But it's not like when Bungie made the Halo campaigns and you would run through it like 3, 4, 5 times with friends and stuff, right? It's like, man, and it's a good thing that Forsaken is really short because like I got to do it 2 more times,
right?
So I don't know. The best things about Destiny are the parts that happen outside of the campaigns, and it's like you have to do the campaign to get there, and it's just annoying. So, but that's my Destiny rant for this episode.
Cool.
Moose, what are you playing? How many more pizzas did you eat?
None. Ass hot.
Check out Dark Zone Junkies' first 5 minutes about Moose's
they're like party. This big, okay?
I don't know. It looks pretty big on my screen right now, Moose.
Anyways,
we were talking about. There was a time where we were talking about frozen pizzas, and yesterday Reba and I were going to the store. I'm like, you know what I want for dinner tonight? I want Red Baron frozen pizzas. And she looks at me. She's like, really? You're that specific? I'm like, yeah. I'm in that kind of garbage mood, so I ate 2 of them. Jeff Glasson in the chat. How are you, sir?
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I did not have any more personal.
I don't think Jeff likes me because he keeps ignoring me.
What are you talking about?
It's fine, though. It's fine, Jeff.
All right, Jeff. See how it is. I've been playing a lot of Far Cry 5.
I realize he's a distinguished host of Nerds Gone Platinum, but
yes,
there's nobody distinguished on that. What the fuck are you talking about? He's old.
Corey,
he's the grandpa of the group. He's just not the most mature of the group.
He's the most platinum.
He's the Nerds Gone Rogue dad.
So I beat Far Cry 5 last night.
Yeah, you were talking about this on my stream this morning, and there were some mind-blowing things because, like, there was apparently I don't remember the ending that I came.
Yeah, apparently you don't, because I was like, "What are you talking about?" Unless you went, and I mean, you did the ending to get the trophy. So, anyways, so
but then again, by that time, I was just done. I was done with the game. I'm like, I'm gonna kill this thing just because I'm this far, but. Deshaun in the chat. How are you, sir?
Hey, Deshaun. How you doing? So anyways, it is the first game I've beaten in 2019. It is also the #1 game. I feel that it wins my award of games I should have played last year that I played this year. Mm-hmm. It's #1 just because I've had a lot of fun with it. I wish I would have. If I didn't have the challenge last year, I would have spent more time with it when I did, but it just didn't grab me like at first. So I just didn't spend a lot of time with it last year. Put it back on the shelf and went back to my challenge games. So I played played a lot yesterday. And so finished the story about 9-10 o'clock last night. I only got like 6 or 7 trophies left, like 6 actually, I think, to actually platinum the game. So I just got to work on those. I got to do like the hunting ones. I have 1 arcade one left, but it's the 10 solo or co-op maps. So I've done the competitive multiplayer one where you have to win on 10 featured maps. I already did that. So I got the hunting one. I got there was a crazy one that I have to run over like 20 people. I'm surprised I haven't done that yet. So I just gotta like get a car, like a beefy car, and just drive and just run over cultists and stuff as I can. And but it's a lot of fun. I had fun with the game. It's actually making me want to pick up New Dawn. It actually makes me want to go back and play Far Cry 4, maybe platinum that, because I enjoyed it so much. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Although I do think my next game will probably, since you've been playing and loving Hitman so much, will probably be Hitman 2.
Cool.
Like, that's not a, because I think our next game for our challenge, because that's kind of like dictating what we're rolling on.
Mm-hmm.
And since I have so much work into the division and I only need one trophy, so we're kind of like playing like off least common denominator.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you have to do with Far Cry 5 when you co-op. It's like, okay, who's the furthest behind? Okay, somebody help that person. You know what I mean? Or like when two people, like when Jeff and I play, Jeff's done with the game, so he'll just jump in my game and help me. But like with the division, I just have to be there to help them until we do the Dark Zone stuff. But anyways, so I'm probably going to jump into Hitman 2, take the time to play the Mutant Year Zero, the game that Corey was chatting about, because I have that. So I'd like to play that and try that. And I got my Switch back on Friday. It's fixed. Got some stuff downloaded.
Cool.
Got my saves down. I haven't really turned it on to like check the state of the saves. I think the only one that I don't have that didn't upload and didn't look like it, but I'll have to double check, is the Zelda one, which I'm fine with because, hey, it's a good game to play through again. You know, like it's a good game. It's a solid game to have. If any of the games that I have that I have to play through again, it would be that one. That would be cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I wouldn't. In fact, any of the games that I lost my save files for, I really don't have a problem playing through at all. Again, or building back up to the point where I left off. So I want to try and get back in the Octopath Traveler and beat that, and then also Binding of Isaac. I want to play the heck out of that on my Switch. So I got some things I'm trying to work towards, but like I said, like Far Cry 5, if I'm at home, that's the main focus, trying to get that done.
Yeah. Now you guys are co-oping for platinums, correct?
Yeah.
Was that
like, I think like the whole point of playing them is platinuming what we can and all that. So we're just trying to like work through the games. Like we picked Far Cry 5 first, simply because it's so close to New Dawn. Not that Division isn't close to Division 2, but we all have way less work, and we had more work in Far Cry 5 to do than Division 2, or than Division 4, Division 2. So we just decided, we were like, let's do Far Cry 5, and then we all actually had Ghostlands downloaded, and I was like, we should switch that. We should do Division 1, because if we start playing Division 2, we're not going to want to go back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be tough trying to go back, and you're going to be like, oh, this doesn't play like that one. It's going to be a struggle. Let's just get through it, and then we can move on to Division 2. So we were trying to get those out of the way.
New Dawn and Division 2 are both in March, correct?
No, New Dawn is February 15th.
Yeah, it's the day. It's the day that every other game is coming out. I think Metro Exodus, Crackdown 3, that Jump Force game, that anime fighting game, is coming out, and then Far Cry, and then the week after that is Anthem. So, yeah.
Jeez. Games are already starting, guys. It's already starting.
I know.
Anything else, Moose?
Nah, that's pretty much it. What have you been rolling on, man? Besides Hitmas this morning.
Played a lot of Hitman. I had some weird sleep issues this weekend where I would just fall asleep and wake up at the weirdest times. And like on Saturday, I got home from work and Reba and I had plans, but she wasn't feeling well, so we could not do them. So I went down and played Hitman. I played Hitman till like 11:30 a.m. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting kind of tired. And she had some work to do. And she asked if there was anything I could do to sort of like stay up for just a little bit longer till she sort of got some momentum going. Because sometimes that's the hump she needed to get over to get her work done, which I understand. So I sat down and I was going to make some more progress on my 20 albums of 2018. I finished that. It took me about 3 hours and change to finish it. And then we had just I had just finished that. I had her read through it. I posted it, and then I'm like, it's time to pass out. I passed right the hell out, woke up at 2 a.m. and could not sleep anymore. Went downstairs and I played more Hitman because, I love it. Quick interjection. Deshaun picked up Binding of Isaac on Switch. He now owns it in 3 places. That's not enough, Deshaun. You need to get the card game. Teach your kids how to play it. It'll be fun. I forget. He has kids, right?
Cast deluxe edition.
That's true.
Comes with sticker packets. That thing's like it's in a kick-ass instruction booklet.
Yeah, and then Lee's in the chat saying yo. So right back to you, sir. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday.
That Lee character.
He's a great character, and I'm happy to be associated with him. I'm glad he keeps me around. So and that
did I get fired? Is Lee your new leader?
No.
I was gonna say, like, he's pretty key to your existence. I didn't know.
No. Well,
like around. I'm like,
he is in that ivory tower. I don't know what sort of Illuminati shit goes on there.
Over PC players. The land of the consoles doesn't.
But so I played Hitman.
My mouse cord isn't long enough. I can't click fast.
So I woke up at 2 a.m. and I said, okay, it's time for me to go after the Onrush Platinum. And I didn't make it because that last circuit of races is really difficult and you have to do some stupid ass challenges. But I'm plugging along. I think I have 5 more races to do or to do the challenges in. But the more I'm playing it, that game's really cool.
Yeah,
like
good, man.
Like I think I understand MOBAs now because of Onrush. Because it is not like it is not a racing. It is I guess it's a car combat game. I don't think it's a. I mean, the racing is definitely the thing, but you're just driving. You don't have to.
There's no like finish line unless like you complete the set task.
But like
I start a certain amount of points, capture all the points.
Yeah, and I was just sitting. I'm like, wow, I think a good analog would probably be Heroes of the Storm for cars. Just because that's like the most off kilter of the bigger MOBAs out. That game's good, man. Music in it's really good. Like there's this one song that plays a lot when you between races. That sounds like an old Basement Jaxx song. I wish I could find it, but I can't find what it is. The soundtrack is out there, but I've tried to find all the songs, and there are certain songs I can't find. So I'm assuming it's one of those. So those artists need to get their stuff up, or maybe put out a soundtrack, but that probably won't happen because I'm pretty sure that studio is done. Like not Codemasters itself, but like the team that did Onrush, I think is actually.
I think you're right.
I think they got busted up because that game didn't do too well, which sucks. But then also more Hitman. I got a story for you about Hitman. The final level is there's a really good piece on Waypoint by Cameron Kunzelman that he describes the final level, and basically he calls it the Illuminati open house. And it really is because it is people planning for the coming end of the world, but not like doomsday prepper stuff. It's like all of the hyper rich people in the world coming together and say, look, this place is done. I'm going to invest in how I and my family survive. And it eventually opens your eyes to, or at least an open mind, like, man, this is kind of how Fallout started, because everybody didn't go to those vaults. There's a class structure there, and it kind of makes me angry. But everybody is figuring out, how they're going to live past the apocalypse. Now, the level design in this level, I think, is actually one of the more interesting levels in terms of design that I've played in a very long time. Just because it's a labyrinthine castle on an island that, it is packed with guards, and it creates a lot of challenges. Well, at the very top of the castle, it's this giant glass. It's like a glass, I don't even know it's like a glass atrium. There's a garden up there, and there are 2 knight statues. Well, you could put on, oh yeah, I got the flamingo ending. Moose saw me do that on stream. Deshaun. But you can put on one of the knight costumes, and there's a challenge to kill all of the elite guards while dressed as a knight. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try this. Put on the knight costume, and then I had pacified a lot of the elite guards, so I just walked up to them, capped them in the head while I was dressed as a knight. Well, eventually you have to go out into the castle to find all of them. And when you're in the knight costume, no one wants to see a knight wandering around. So the minute someone sees you, like, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. So everybody comes after you. Well, for about an hour, I would say, I was this one man just wave of death. And I kind of wish I'd streamed it, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I feel like when I get into that kind of chaos, I tend to fail more on stream than I do by myself. But I ended up killing all of them, and then I decided I was going to work on another challenge where you have to basically throw 47 bodies into the ocean from cast. So I basically went around to everything I had killed and started throwing it into the ocean. There are a lot of NPCs in that level, and eventually, after you've pissed enough people off, everyone knows where you are and just wants to come there to be a part of the party. And right as the challenge popped, like right as you get that little alert up in the top right of your screen, right as that happened, the game crashed. And I was worried I didn't get it, but I got it because I went back and looked. But apparently, like there's a guy on YouTube who, after having watched a couple of his videos after that happened, he goes into every level in Hitman 2, and he issues himself the kill everything challenge. And eventually, because he's killed so many people, the frame rate starts to dip, because it has to keep all of that stuff in place.
Yeah, the bodies and stuff. Yeah.
But you want to watch a funny dude killing some people in Hitman, watch Big Mooney 06. And
Mooney 06.
Big Mooney 06, and I mean, he has a northern. It's either he's either Southern Scottish or very Northern English. And the way he goes through and commentates himself, he's kind of a hero of mine now. But I had a Big Mooney 06 moment in the Isle of Scale in Hitman 2. And I love that game. I've almost 100%ed all of the chapters trophy-wise. I just need to do Mumbai, and I feel like that one's going to be the hardest one, just because that one's a. I was trying to do it today on stream, and I fatigue was hitting me in the right way, and that level is really dense with people. So looking forward to it. I will continue, and then once I'm done there, I will go back and do Hitman 1 because that game is amazing. I'm glad I'm playing it again. It reminded me how much I love that IP, and I feel like every time I've ever talked about my favorite IPs of all time needs to be readdressed because I had a lot of fun with Hitman in the early 2000s, and I'm having just as much fun, if not more, now.
Nice. Do you think you get the new remasters coming out?
I know I am because Blood Money is a goddamn masterpiece. I didn't play Absolution, so I'm definitely getting it. Definitely. I'll probably go through Blood Money again because it's been 12 years. I might try and do that blind on stream at some point. But I've got a lot of things I want to do on stream, but I can't. I don't have time for everything. So
yeah,
watch this space. And then I played a couple of mobile games as well. I played Heaven Will Be Mine and Citus 2. Heaven Will Be Mine is an interesting mech type game with a really good story from 2018, and Citus 2 is a really cool rhythm game. Other than that, I think that's it.
I got a question for you. I found out some news on Twitter. Mm-hmm. How big were you into the Xbox Live Arcade indie game market, like the games on there?
I was pretty big into it. Why?
There's a girl that used to do reviews for it for that platform. She's putting out a collection. Like the guy that did Cosmic Star Heroine, because his games, his first initial games, the Call of Cthulhu, and then Breath of Death 7. Those were on there, and then his follow-ups, the Rain Slick, Proserpine, Penny Arcades, volumes 3 and 4. They're on there as well, and so he tweeted it, and that's how I found it, because I was just looking through my tweets and saw his tweet, and he's like, in such and such a collection, what kind of games would you like to see on there? And I was like, Zombie Estate 1 and 2, or just 1, so that my wife can play it again. And I don't have listeners, tell the stories of me getting rid of the 360. So
what is this?
So it's basically a girl that used to do reviews like of the indie game platforms.
Okay.
It's like you go into IG, like Xbox Live Arcade IG, it was like on the marketplace. And they had like really like stripped down. I mean, they had a lot of really good indie games, but then they had a lot of just like stripped down stuff. In fact, the guy that did Ska Studios that did Salt and Sanctuary, before he did Dishwasher, Dead Dishwasher, or whatever, Dishwasher, Dead Vampire, whatever the hell it was, and Charlie Murder, he did some games that were on there. And so it would be cool. I was just wondering if you heard about it, and if you
I haven't,
that you would like to see come from there to, because I'd love to see Z-Boyd. I'd love to see their whole catalog.
Yeah,
that's on that system that was on Xbox Live Arcade. I'd look, because it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. I think it'd be really cool on Switch. Like, I might actually just buy it on Switch, just to have it on the go. But I thought you'd be interested in that.
I'll have to. Can you message me a link to it, and then I'll go do some digging, because
yeah. And then like you see like the tweets of all the games people are recommending, and you're like, holy cow, I remember seeing that game and wanting to play it. I didn't play it. So it's like, I don't know how big the collection is going to be, but if it's like 10, 15 games, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So I think she's just trying to get with like a publisher or something to try and get the games like ported over and stuff.
Sure.
So, but anyways, I just thought I'd mention that. It was in the news. Maybe not the big news, but it was in my news. was news to me, and I'm enjoying it.
That reminds me, you mentioned your significant other. Reba and I played more Guacamelee 1 yesterday.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Turns
out that game is really good.
Who knew?
1 or 2? I thought you already played 1.
Well, she had not, and she wanted to play we started playing the first one before the second one came out, and we'll eventually play the second one. But she's like, I really like this art style. She's a little intimidated. Like, we had the conversation that we were talking about here. She was like, I'm just worried I'm not good. I'm like, you don't have to worry about that. She's like, but I'm intimidated. I go, Reba, if you were to step into the therapy arena with someone that's been doing it for 40 years, you automatically know they're going to be better at they're going to be better at the job than you, correct? She's like, well, yeah, they have. I go, okay. So I've been playing games at a steady clip for 32 years. You had a good stint with the Nintendo, but not much else. And I don't know how long that began. I don't know when that began and when it ended. Yeah. But also, like, this is something I've been doing a lot. So there's a reasonable expectation that I'm going to be a bit more adept at it. So quit thinking about, what you can and can't do and how you measure up to me. Just worry about doing just worry about honing your own skills. And she, we did that. Like, we had that talk. She went back in and we went through like 3 pretty tough early arenas where she just wasn't taking damage. And I feel like if that's not progress, I don't know what is.
Yeah. It's true.
I just talked about you playing games this weekend. Yes, I did. Because you did well at Guacamelee, and I'm proud of you.
Tell her I'm also proud of her.
Moose is proud too. Oh, thanks, huh? What? Oh, she says thanks, Moose. Yeah. Okay, so
I'm really good at the triple square combo.
Yeah, she's really good. Yeah, she's really good at the triple square combo. I like how she did that with a little. You did that with a little booty shake. What are you doing?
Yeah. But maybe you want to finish that podcast early.
I'll tell you
Go to work with a smile.
Oh boy. All right. So we've got listener questions again this week, right, gentlemen?
We do.
We do.
All right. So we don't have as many as the last few weeks, which I feel is fine. Also, before
to be fair, we had a ton because we took like 4 weeks off.
That's true. Also,
we also get enough to where we're like answering questions like every week of the new year. Like, we've been doing reader questions, which is not a problem. It's fun. It's just,
Moose and I Corey and I had a chat before we started the episode, and we've heard the call for the return of 20 questions. We are going to answer it. We have decided that every first Monday of every month will be 20 questions day. So we will continue to ask for listener questions, and we will continue to take listener questions. But the first Monday of every month, we will do a topic and 20 questions. Just because I have the heart out that. What's that, Moose?
No. That episode is just 20 questions. There's no topic. The topic is 20 questions.
Right, but hear me out, because we also have to recognize that something may happen that we just have to address. Like, for example, Activision leaving Bungie. If something like that happens before a 20 questions,
but yes.
Yeah. Or them that way.
I'm just trying to make sure our listeners don't think you're crazy.
I mean, how can they not at this point?
No, I mean, like, Activision could have said, "Hey, we don't want to have anything to do," with them, and left them.
Bungie leaving Activision, yes,
yeah,
yes, that's the way. Well, Activision and Bungie breaking up, however it shakes out. Whoever gets the
happens
kids.
behind closed doors is y'all's thing. Apparently, Bungie keeps the kids.
Good.
So, I mean, which is fine. And in all honesty, I hope they can turn it around. Hope Destiny 3 is better. I feel they've been on a steady decline since Reach, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. But so yeah, more or less 20 questions will be first Monday of every month. That way we can resume that, and the seasons for it will be the entire year, and we will recap that when needed. So yeah, February 4th is our start date for that.
Woo!
I knew you'd be excited. So, Moose, you came up with the idea. You sort of masterminded the schedule. You are first.
All right, I'll have a game.
All right. So now,
I think it's Moose's turn anyway.
I think he's right.
I don't care.
Some of us do care, Matt.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's great. I'm glad you do, but I just figured he came up with the idea. If it was his turn, that's fucking lucky. Now we'll get to the listeners. You can reach us on Twitter at Nerds Gone Rogue, correct, Corey?
Mm-hmm.
My email at ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com. Our Facebook group, the Nerds Gone Rogue community. Hell, you can ask us questions via Moose's group, the Nerds Gone Platinum community. Why not?
No, we don't want you.
No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Corey, they're still number one. We need them. Moose. So first up, the man himself, Deshaun Malone, as a pretty big Destiny fan.
Why did he add so many questions?
Because he cares.
I know. He's the only one that defended me over Pokemon for 20 questions.
Yeah, he did. He did. I've been thinking about the pros and cons about Bungie leaving Activision. Apt topic. Also, I've been thinking a lot about EA canceling more Star Wars games. What are your thoughts on each of these big stories? You know what, EA? Here, I'm EA. Look at me, you and me, person to person. Well, person to publisher. What the hell with Star Wars games? I'm not a big fan of Star Wars games. I think there are a lot more bad than good. But your logic around canceling this most recent one, we didn't think it was going to be out in time, so we're going to cancel it and try and get something out quicker. So you were deliberately saying, stop all of the development on something that could be good, and we're going to force something out with a movie. Yeah. You know, what the fuck, man? In what universe did you think that would work? You know, I get it. You're worried about profit margins. That's fine. That's a respectable thing because that's all you do as a corporation. But seriously, at some point, Disney's going to look at you and go say, hey, you're canceling more than you're actually doing.
I want to pull the license from them.
Yeah, I think they will. And frankly, I stand by Devolver Digital on Twitter because they were like, how about give us a shot? I'd take them publishing a Star Wars game anytime because they would let shit go. It'd be like, yeah, well, anything goes. Let's throw everything in. Imagine a Boba Fett Hotline Miami. Just say it. Be great.
Well, there's that, but there was also running tangent with this was where I believe one of the people from the leadership team of Marvel was like, oh yeah, like we can look, you know, like we're interested in indies doing games that are like of our lesser known titles. Like think about maybe not lesser known, but like not like huge AAA.
They're not married to the idea of selling a $60 product every time.
Right. What about a Hotline Miami style Punisher?
There you go.
You know,
that'd be awesome.
What about
that'd be amazing.
That's better than the Boba Fett idea, Moose. Good job.
What about Z-Boyd, who did Cosmic Star Heroine, which is a really good RPG? What if they did like Guardians of the Galaxy? You have your each party members. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I think it would be cool. I think Disney need to help maximize. They should just pull back and be. First of all, they need to get away from EA.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they don't like. I don't like anything EA does except publish Battlefield. Like I like Dice games, and to be honest, the last two have not been. I'm not liking them. So I don't know. I don't even know if I would buy another Battlefield game. But like other EA games, I'm like, I don't need any of this stuff. Like you're canceling Star Wars games. Like what exactly do you have besides Madden and FIFA every year? Like that's all you have. NHL. Okay, they got NHL. I know a lot of people that like NHL, but so like.
But we have BioWare.
I think Disney needs to take the approach to their games that they took with their movies and just be like, okay, it may not be a $60 game. Let's make it $39.99. Let's make it a 20-hour experience and give it to a developer that's a little less known. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And say, here you go. You know, like I was saying, make a Hotline Miami Punisher game. Like that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or maybe not worry about tying it to a movie. Just
see, that's the other problem. They're trying to get it out for the movie at the end of the year, and it's like, okay, well, that's stupid. It should be its own damn thing. Mm-hmm. And there's practically a Star Wars movie every year now, so they could just release it next year.
Yeah.
Look how successful Batman Arkham was. It wasn't tied to The Dark Knight. It came out a year after that movie, right? Like, It was just its own thing. They put a lot of fan servicey stuff in there, like
Spider-Man from 2018.
Yeah,
just saying.
I'm not defending EA, but I want to just throw something out there a little bit, right?
Okay.
Like
that's fine.
Lucas Arts is notoriously hard to work with, right? Because they have to go through story canon, they have to go through the film story team, they have to go through the game story team, and then they have to get the okay from Kathleen Kennedy to do stuff, right? That's how Lucas film works. Plus, is
this still the same situation considering all that was? Okay.
Yeah, Disney created a Lucasfilm Games division, which I don't know why they didn't just give it to LucasArts, but they go through the rigmarole of making sure everything's canon, everything looks like what it's supposed to look like, that kind of stuff. Also, all of EA's executives have changed since they made this deal, right? They have a new president, they have a new chief financial officer, and I think they're trying to turn the ship, but when you have a ship that size, it's like a glacial turn, you know? Yeah. And so I'm just throwing that out there, but at the same time, you have the biggest, most coveted license almost in all of video games, right?
Yep.
That's not an original IP.
Yep.
In Star Wars. Why aren't you doing something with it? Mm-hmm. You produced 2 Battlefront games and a generic game.
And got shat on for both of them.
Man, yeah, I get it. Making games is hard, but EA's been doing it since the early 80s. They should know what they're doing by now.
Yeah.
And they've been working with the Star Wars license for almost 20 years anyway, with Knights of the Republic and, you know, a couple of smaller titles. I don't really remember what all. Knights of the Republic was the first one that came to mind, but
yeah, Knights of the Republic, fucking Jedi Outcast, tons of them. That's
all I had to say. That's all. I don't really care about the next Star Wars game, though, to be honest with you. What is it? The Titanfall team's doing one, right?
If they get to finish it ever,
EA will make them finish it because Disney is probably stepping on their throats and saying, "You need to get a game out," and they're like, "Well, we got one.
Promise."
Yeah, it's like a Russian stacking dolls of evilness.
Yeah.
Throat stepping.
On the whole Destiny front,
mm-hmm.
I think it's good for Bungie to get away from Activision.
Mm-hmm.
I think there might have been a lot of stepping on the toes of the creativity there. I mean, it's been proven twice that they sold us a game and then the next year sold us $60 expansion to finish the actual game. So hopefully now that they're away from Activision, they could actually put out a game, a $60 game in probably Destiny 3, where it's a complete story. It's done really well. I mean, we've all seen their work. They've done great with the Halo series. So they have the capability to do great storytelling, and their shooting mechanics are still top notch. Like when I think of like shooters, I think, like old Halo shooters come to mind. Like when I'm like, what was the most fun shooters I ever played? Like Halo comes to mind. Gears does come to mind. I did have fun with the first Destiny, and I had fun with Destiny 2, and like Black Ops is always or like Call of Duty, even though people like to shit on it, myself included sometimes, because it's tied to Activision.
Yeah.
It still has great shooting mechanics. So I think them moving away from Activision, and I'm sure like we talked about it, I believe. Did we talk about it on the last show where we could see Epic coming in and being like, hey, put Destiny 3 on our game or on our game store, and I could totally see them being the publisher for them.
Yeah, I mean, like the one thing, like creatively, it's gonna help, right? They have an idea of what they want to do, and now they're not going to be forced into some arbitrary timeline to try to get a game out in September, right? Because look, I've been researching a lot of Destiny stuff the last couple weeks for that show and everything, and it's like what they showed at E3 2013. Like if you go back and watch that original gameplay trailer, where it's like the first like 15 minutes of what they wanted the game to be, it's amazing. Like it's like when you fly in, or when your ghost kind of comes in and revives you, like that doesn't happen in the first whatever they showed, right? You land your ship in old Russia right outside the wall. You call in your teammate and you just see their ship fly in, and the Guardian come down, right? And it's like you fight through the wall where, like, I don't know if you remember that very first mission in Destiny 1 where you kind of walk through the wall and grab that assault rifle and just kind of mow guys down and try to find your ship.
Yeah, I remember that one.
There's a whole section of the wall in this gameplay video that you just have never seen in the game. There's this whole mission fighting through the wall, and it's like a 10-minute mission, and then when you come out on the other side, there are third fire team members on the other side of the wall, and then they join a public event where there's like 25 people fighting this giant walker, and I'm like, this didn't happen in Destiny. Like, this didn't happen. So I mean, like, I think, and plus the other point to that is, like, the Taken King was supposed to be a part of Destiny 1 vanilla. Like Crota and the Taken King, those two expansions were supposed to be a part of vanilla. The whole story of Crota, and Crota was actually supposed to be like a sequel to the Taken King, where, like, okay, Oryx's son is taking over the mantle, and now you have to go take him out too before he receives the darkness or whatever. And that whole storyline was scrapped. And when Activision announced the publishing deal, like, that, a couple heads of Bungie left and kind of threw the project off track. And the infamous thing is they threw out the whole original campaign, which, depending on what class and what race you were, you had an entire different, like, first third of the campaign telling your origin story.
Yep.
And it never happened. So, yeah, I mean, I think creatively it's going to help Bungie, but financially, I think they have a lot of things to take into consideration, which, don't get me wrong, they're smart. They've got a lot of money and a lot of people, and probably a lot of investors jumping on board now. And, but they have marketing costs that Activision took care of. They had QA, they had discs, like putting the discs out in stores. They had, a financial backer with a lot of money, and now they don't have that. I mean, they might have a lot of investors here and there that are giving them money, but they don't have one stable investor like Activision. So I don't know. I think they're going to go out and look for, like, a publishing partner that will help them with that, but not be tied to any contract. A lot of people.
I think they probably want like a Blizzard situation where, I know we've had discussions recently on this show about we're not sure, we have thoughts on the Blizzard Activision thing, but I think they're looking for someone to come in like, yes, we want to partner with you, but stay out of our IP, stay out of our development.
Yeah. And a lot of people were talking about, maybe Epic was one, but Microsoft was another thing. Not buying Bungie, but like Epic and Microsoft make the most sense because they need a not a publisher, but they need a backer that's going to allow them to put the game back on PC somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the Epic store and the Microsoft store are two viable options. So
I think if they put it on the Microsoft store, it won't sell.
Well, I think it
will because that PC audience is the biggest audience for Destiny right now.
Yeah, but if you talk to the average PC gamer, they won't touch the Microsoft store with a 10-foot pole.
That's true, but if it's the only place you can get the game,
a
lot of people hate the Origin store. A lot of people are going to buy Anthem there. A lot of people are going to buy FIFA and Madden on PC through there.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
So
I mean, it's also the point where you're like, well, I have a PS4 or an Xbox One X. I'll play there.
Yeah. Well, the other thing,
I have a feeling like you were saying, like people will play on the Origin store.
Mm-hmm.
I feel with Microsoft, it's like they're like, okay, I'll tolerate it. The Origin store, I feel with Microsoft, it's no, I'll actually play the game somewhere.
Well, I've also heard a lot of people are like, I buy things through Microsoft's website because their store is such a hot mess.
Yeah.
If they have to buy something through there. But
so the question remains, will they be able to even buy the next Destiny on the Microsoft store?
Right. But for me, honestly, Epic actually makes the most sense because all their cross-platform stuff is free to use. All of their tools and matchmaking stuff. And I know Bungie does their own matchmaking stuff, but if they needed assistance, Epic puts it out there for people who use their store. They'll get us a bigger cut of the money if they put it there. There's a lot of advantages to using the Epic Game Store over, Steam or even continuing with Battle.net.
Didn't they say they were self-publishing?
On consoles, they are going to self-publish.
Yeah, for Destiny 2 now, like it'll know.
Well, Activision is still publishing everything through September.
Okay, and then after that,
that's how, yeah. Then the transition will be seamless. They said, which whatever that means. So whenever Activision stops, all the servers crash, and you won't be able to play Destiny for like 2 weeks. But
fantastic.
I don't know. I think creatively, it's a great thing for them because I think whatever Destiny 3 is, or if they keep building on Destiny 2, which I don't think so, because a lot of the systems in Destiny 2 people still have a problem with, like the token system, and the vault is still an issue, which people have been complaining about since vanilla Destiny. But like, I think whatever Destiny 3 is, they're going to take their time. They're going to make the game that they've wanted to make since the beginning. It won't come out on this generation of consoles, to be honest with you. I think it'll be next gen,
which is fine.
And whatever the next version of Destiny is just going to run its course through next generation. And then they already have a small team working on another IP anyway that they trademarked last year. So it'll be interesting to see what that is as well.
What I think has the potential to bring more people to Destiny, as well as reassure those that have an investment in Destiny, is Bungie gets their publishing partner thing sorted out, has the appropriate amount of power in the deal where they can, maintain their creativity but also once that happens, they get in front of fans and say, look, here's what we've done this. Here's our plan from here on out.
Yeah. And they've addressed that. Luke Smith addressed that in a letter this weekend about, we're still obligated to make the content for the season pass that, they've already sold people, right? They have that obligation, and we're going to learn more in a couple months about what's going to happen this fall. and maybe into the future. So like they addressed that this weekend because a lot of people are really excited at Bungie about this. Like the rumor was they had champagne bottles popping everywhere and having it throwing a party when they announced it, like it was a big deal to them.
Because I remember when this was announced, like it became like the thing that everyone was talking about for a very long time, and people were talking about with such reverence. And then, then the trial thing happened. We got a lot of reveals, and then all of that stuff was either true or false once Destiny 1 came out, and it's been kind of I mean, as someone who's outside, it's been kind of not too positive, not too negative. It's been very wishy-washy the entire time. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I only played Destiny 1, and the mechanics in that game are fantastic. The shooting mechanics is on consoles for shooters, second to none. I think that like we could make the argument that them and Call of Duty are the best shooting mechanics in gaming at the moment. Mm-hmm. So they have something, but they need to ramp up and fulfill a lot more of the ambitions that were originally stated with this franchise. I'm saying that, but I also don't think they're in trouble. I think it's dangerous to get involved with Epic. Now, hear me out on this, because look, we all know crazes come and go. Like the Battle Royale craze, as we will have to address soon in this show. It is at a zeitgeist right now. It will fade away, but it'll never actually die because like all trends sort of come, they have their moment, and then they just truck on forever.
Just like the Minecraft craze.
Exactly. And I think it's dangerous to get involved with Epic because I don't know how Epic is going to handle when the Battle Royale craze dies. That said, they've also been publishing Unreal Engine and leasing that and making money that way. They made a killing on iOS with the Infinity Blade series. Like they know that they'll figure out a way to keep their doors open. I just hope that Destiny finds a home and is able to flourish in a way that everybody who wanted to play it at the outset deserves. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy that Bungie got out of Activision and was able to keep Destiny, because that's usually not how that works.
Yeah, maybe that'll entice Blizzard to try to get out.
Well, yeah,
I know they own.
What was it? That Penny Arcade thing where like you see Bungie running from a fire, but then they go back, and there's like, no, you can't go in there, you'll die. And then they're like, you don't understand, Blizzard's still in there.
That's funny.
Okay, that was enough of that. Thank you, Deshaun, as always, for your question. Sam Hall comes in next with Resident Evil 2 Remake coming out soon. What games would you like to see a from-the-ground-up remake of? Any?
Man, I don't know. I don't have time to play the new games.
That's true.
Man, remade.
I'll say this. I don't think they need to be remade per se, but if you could put the same contracts in like the earliest Hitman games in the way that Hitman 2 is, if you could do that in a very streamlined way, I'd take that. That'd be cool. Yeah. Just because a lot of I watched this video a week or so ago called The History of Hitman. It's like 2000 to 2018. Some of those old Hitman games look off. They look.
Just the way your mother likes it, Trebek.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'd go with Siphon Filter.
Okay.
Man, I don't even know what games I would want remade. That's a.
I think some of the earlier Suda 51 games would be really cool, like a Killer 7. That would be good.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to be able to play Deadly Premonition on modern consoles. That would be cool.
Darkness.
Yeah, Darkness.
I just think like if they could make Siphon Filter with Division shooter mechanics, that would be awesome because the shooting mechanics on that game were a little rough.
Yeah.
Siphon Filter. So.
Oh yeah, because that was still at a time where they're still trying to figure it out, right?
It was PlayStation.
Yeah.
The game's first launched on PlayStation, so we just got the dual analog sticks. So, anyways,
I don't know. There's probably some N64 or GameCube games I would like to see remade at some point.
Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
Oh God! Actually, not a remake, but like a reboot. They made one for 360 and PS3 that was a really cool idea, but it didn't really sell well. So whatever. But that IP is cool. You could do something really cool with it, like a Tomb Raider style semi-open world story where you are like hunting dinosaurs and crafting armor and stuff out of dinosaur parts. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Wasn't that done already? Horizon Zero Dawn.
It's true. Those are not dinosaurs, Matt. They're large mechanical creatures. Okay. I'm talking about real dinosaurs.
Hey man, sometimes the humans need to take those Transformers to task. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, speaking of Capcom remakes, why don't they remake Dino Crisis?
Yeah.
Would be cool.
Yeah.
They could use the same engine that they did
Resident Evil 2 in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's do it. Come on, Capcom, do it. Woo!
I'd play Dino Crisis.
Yeah, me too. Let's move on.
The third one that went to space. That was the original Xbox.
I never played the third one.
Oh, it was an Xbox exclusive, and they went to this space station and they were in space.
Nice.
It was pretty bad. The voice acting's pretty bad.
Oh, from the ground up, Commander Keen. That would be cool. That'd be cool. Okay, so Casey McHale up next. I have a question for you. What license do you want to see become or come back as a video game?
I have a great story for this, but I'm going to go last because it's going to be a walk.
I don't know. I mean, I guess a nice little adventure game for Calvin and Hobbes would be cool. But I also don't want that because I respect the stance that Bill Watterson took on Calvin and Hobbes without merchandising the shit out of it.
I can't believe he never merchandised that.
Artist integrity, man. Artist integrity.
Man, a cool stuffed Hobbes would be really cool though.
That's true. That's true.
They have fake ones on Etsy and
some of them are really good, but
I know I thought about it, but I'm like
me too.
I feel like that's kind of wrong. It's kind of like so
come back as a video game.
All right, well I'll just go since
I think you're gonna have to go because I'm kind of at a loss. Moose, do you have anything?
I want a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, but done in the style of like, not exactly the style of God of War, but like, you have that hub kind of central area that kind of branches off into these smaller areas. And that would be like New York City, right? And then there's so many things you could do with it. You go to Dimension X and that would be one kind of hub world. You could go to, you could go back in time right? Like Turtles in Time style stuff. Like you could go do that. You could do, there's just so many things you could do with the Turtles IP that they're not doing.
Yeah, that's not really a walk. That sounds like a good idea.
That would be cool.
And then like it'd be kind of like an action RPG. Like you find upgrades throughout the world to give yourself better stats and cooler weapons. You could like craft like better swords for Leonardo, or maybe you want a defensive approach and you get those little like
maybe do it like a game as service where you could do like 4-player co-op as the Turtles.
I mean, you could just do that anyway. It doesn't have to be games as a service. You could just be like, but you could like upgrade the Turtles as you please. You could play through the whole game as one, or you could swap out like whatever, or like each turtle has a skill that you need. Like if you're infiltrating like a police station or some sort of like government building, you use Donatello because he has good hacking skills, right? Or if you are going through a place with a lot of enemies, you use Raph because he's the biggest and the strongest and can take the most damage, right? Or whatever. And I don't know, if you are doing something real stupid, you can be Michelangelo. If you're like a sewer skateboarding race or something.
Or you just want someone to say cowabunga a lot.
And then like you could use like Splinter, Casey Jones could actually be a playable character, or April could be a quest giver. Splinter could be a quest giver. Even like even you could use Baxter Stockman as like the anti-hero, or like he gives you quests, but also like he might be the one that's gonna betray you partway through the game. You could take cues from God of War, you can take cues from Spider-Man, you could take cues from even the Arkham series. There's a lot of enemies you could use in that game, like D tier for Turtles enemies in there, like
that Rabbit Samurai character. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, or like the Rat King, or you could go to space. Like one of the portals could take you to space, and you fight those pizza aliens, like the big yellow pizza aliens. Like so many cool things you could do. And then you fight Shredder, but then you fight Krang. Oh man! And then you can have like aerial battles in the turtle blimp. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
Where Krang just makes like this.
Imagine you could Fulton things to the turtle blimp. That'd be cool.
Ooh, you can Fulton stuff and take them back to the sewer to upgrade your sewer.
Yeah.
Oh man!
You can buy insurance to protect it, because those online people, they'll come in and take your stuff.
Oh my gosh, how awesome would that be? Yeah, if you had like an online component where you could infiltrate other people's like sewers or whatever. Oh my god.
You should play Metal Gear Solid 5.
I've tried many times. I don't like the shooting mechanics in that game.
I don't either.
I've tried. Trust me, that game on paper, that game is like everything I want in a game, and then it just like doesn't feel good to play, so I can't play it. Sorry.
No, that's cool.
So that's my game.
You know what? I'll throw out an easy one. A game I want to come back. Mod Nation Racers. Bring it back. Somehow. Some way. That'd be cool.
You could just build it in Dreams now.
No, because the Little Big Planet karting was awful. Media Molecule hurt me with that one.
By the way, did you see that somebody built a PT in the Dreams demo?
Yeah. There's a weird amount of people just recreating PT.
I know.
Well, they liked it as a horror game, so I mean,
Not gonna lie, I didn't play it because I don't like scary stuff.
Yeah.
Also, my Turtles game, it would have a cool art style, but still be dark and gritty.
Yeah.
So, like, I really like what they did with Into the Spider-Verse, that movie. I haven't seen it yet, but the art style is really cool.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it either.
So
don't know if I will.
Yeah, I probably won't either, to be honest with you. I don't really care about Spider-Man.
Next up, Samantha Cross. You've probably answered this at some point. What is your favorite controller of all time and why? Would you use it on today's consoles if you had an updated version of it?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people are going to say the GameCube controller, but I like that controller, but in recent years, it's like third place for me right now. Or I actually really like the Switch Pro controller, except the D-pad really sucks for some reason. But I guess like the Xbox One controller is really comfortable for my hands, but I also like the DualShock 4. Like I feel like this generation we're at a pinnacle of controller comfortability.
Mm-hmm.
Is
that a word?
Yeah,
that's a word.
I think
it is now.
Comfort. That's how you would say that.
Comfortability. It's my new word.
Moose, go ahead.
Not just because I do a podcast based on the platform, but the DualShock, just through its life cycle, the DualShock 1, DualShock 2. I didn't really mess around with the 3 because I didn't have a PlayStation 3 until recently. I don't have as many problems with the DualShock 3 as a lot of people do. And now the DualShock 4, we were discussing this while I was watching a stream, like what can they do? I'm sure there's some ways they can tighten up the DualShock 4 for the DualShock 5 for the PS5. But I think like what they really need to do is both. I mean, I guess maybe not Microsoft because they already do a really good Elite controller, but Sony needs to bring it in-house and put some paddles on their next controller. Because
have you tried that Scuff controller?
No, I have not, but I've heard good things about the ones, not the ones that have had issues. Like I think it was Impact and then the Vantage were the two that come out. Like you can actually just send your controller off and get it modded. I heard that's better, or they'll take one of their own and mod it for you. But although they're having issues with their sticks and their dead zones, and so a lot of people are going over to aim, and so I think the next evolution would be able to add like some paddles on the back to be able to take away some button pressing, so your thumbs could always be on the joysticks for like shooters, even Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Pop it instead of having to take your thumb off the camera, or you're trying to attack or rush and you want to heal, you just hit a button and heal and just keep your run instead of rush. But you can still run or roll, or you put like you put whatever you want on the back there where you don't have to take your fingers off the important buttons, because you basically have like two fingers back there doing nothing, when you're holding the controller. And so I feel like if they could evolve that, it would be really great. Like give us something like make the touchpad a little more useful, allow us to turn off the damn light bar, like I'm just trying to throw this out here because it's like it's a good controller, but it still needs some work. It's still not the best it can be. And like I said, I just like to see them. And like everybody's like, I like the offset control thumbsticks of the Microsoft controller. It's the best. Everybody's like, no, I like the DualShock more. I'm gonna be honest, that's all comes down to like what you use. So like I used the 360 controller for God knows how long, and then I switched to the DualShock 4, and I'll tell you, it was weird. For the first 2 months, it was weird for me to use the DualShock 4 because I was used to the offset analog sticks. But then once I got used to it, I was over at a buddy's house, and he was showing me GTA on his Xbox One, and I was playing with the controller, and I was like, this is really weird. Like, it's weird trying to play this way now. So, I think that argument just needs to be put to bed. It's all preference. I don't think one's better than the other. Long story short, DualShock, all iterations. Yeah,
I mean, I have the same sort of arc because from PS2 I went to Xbox, and then I stayed with 360 until I had heard about all of the cool exclusives that PS3 had. So I jumped, and it was weird both times. It was weird going from the DualShock for PS2 to the original Duke. Because, geez, that thing was huge. But my knee-jerk reaction was to say my favorite is the GameCube, and I think when we answered this before, I said my favorite was the GameCube controller. And I think the curvature of it like felt really good in my hands. Like it felt really, really good. I mean, I would take another one like that, but also like
give us 4 shoulder buttons.
Yeah,
You can't.
I will.
Tricks and SSX tricky if you only have 3 shoulder buttons.
It's true.
That's true.
They did, however, Power A, that company that does like special Switch controllers, did put out a wireless GameCube controller that feels just like the GameCube controller with clickable sticks. You can remove the C stick and actually put a real analog stick there if you please, and added 2 shoulder buttons on the left side.
Awesome.
Ooh. Very nice.
I really like the DualShock 4. And having played with an Elite controller for Xbox One, like I think that might be where I would go. Not necessarily that particular controller, but like a controller with that kind of weight, that kind of customizability. And if it was shaped like a DualShock, yeah, I'd take it. I've looked at the scuff ones, and no. Like, I learned something in prior generations. Going to third-party controllers, no matter which one you go to, it's a dicey situation. There's going to be a problem with it at some point that is hard. That is not irreconcilable, but very difficult to reconcile. And that's why I will get the same controller that the manufacturer of the console makes. And if Sony brought it in-house and give us a weightier like PS4 DualShock Elite controller, I'd take it. I would pay the premium because there's some value there.
Well, I feel like this was them testing the waters because they have a bunch of them. They've got a bunch of licensed third-party controllers, like with paddles and all that stuff in it. And I think it's them testing the waters. And it's like they have to hear everybody saying, why can't Sony just make an Elite controller? Why can't Sony just make an Elite controller? Mm-hmm. So instead, and I would do the same thing they're doing. I would just be like, we're not going to put one out until the next console comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we have a lot of people that play PlayStation 4, but if we can put our time and effort to doing a controller, we'll have a longer time frame to work on it because that console might not be coming out till 2020, you know? And so we'll just work on that and have it launch with the console. And that could be part of their tier thing. They come out and say, here's just the system with a regular controller, no upgradability. Here is like the Elite version with you can upgrade the hard drive, you know, pick your different hard drive. You can swap out some other things if you want to as you're buying it. Oh, and then you also, if you buy this version, you get an Elite controller with it. And it's, you know, maybe $150, $200 more than the lowest system. So it'll just be interesting to see what they do. I think they need to do something. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sony's they're on a different, like, Microsoft is building this kind of, you know, their next gen is going to kind of be like Microsoft is building towards next generation, but Sony's had such a great generation this gen that like we kind of forget that they're still building towards next generation. And like, you know, PlayStation Now quietly has added downloads to PS4 and PS2 games. Name changes. I think they're banking on people. You know, they're adding it now, and yeah, it's going to mess up some stuff for certain PS4 stuff, but like you'll be able to use that name for PlayStation 5 and beyond, right? Like they're still building that too. And it's like they're quietly doing similar things to what Xbox is doing and maybe it's less relevant to them because they have the exclusives and have the big titles coming out, right? But they're still doing these things. And if they add some sort of PlayStation Elite controller, you know, to that mix next gen, like it's gonna be interesting.
Agreed.
It'll be a good time.
Good times for everybody.
Moving on. Alan J. Paxton. Oh baby. 1. Who do you cast as Wolverine in the new X-Men MCU? I go with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. 2. Most anticipated game of 2019. 3. Best gaming / nerd memory. I don't care about the MCU.
I really don't either, but I still think Tom Hardy.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Man, no, he'd be the Colossus. I think Tom Hardy would make a good Wolverine. Personally, I don't care about the MCU, but I do enjoy me some X-Men. So,
okay,
that's my thought on that. Although he's Venom now, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Unless he's playing an older version, nah. Like, I don't think that works. I don't know who it would be.
I don't think they go straight back to Old Man Logan after having Logan, you know?
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, he's a great actor, but he's he's 50. So, like, to play, like, Wolverine, you know, younger, like in his 20s or 30s, or someone that looks like they're kind of immortal or never aging, like, I think, like, they need to pick, like, a younger actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know who it would be because I'm not up on, like, the hottest, youngest actors out there as far as, like, doing like really good acting capabilities.
Robert Pattinson.
Huh?
Sure. Is he a real person? I don't know.
He's the guy from the Twilight movies.
Oh.
For some reason, I just thought of that.
Hayden Christensen.
Sorry.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
If we're gonna throw shit out there, although
he's old too.
he was really good in Shattered Glass.
Okay. The guy who played the other guy in the Twilight movies, I think he might be a better Wolverine than Robert Pattinson. The guy who played the wolf guy.
Wolf guy. Yeah.
Wolf guy. Yeah, I don't know. I have so fallen off with movies that, like, I'm waiting for the, like, here's my movie excitement for 2019 when Criterion announces their streaming service so I could subscribe to it and watch old foreign movies. That's my so hey, resurrect Alan DeLong. Let him play Wolverine. That'd be good. Nice understated, you know, pretty boy as Wolverine would be fantastic. Most anticipated game of 2019, gentlemen. Moose, Sekiro, right?
I don't know.
I go back and forth between that and Spelunky 2, to be honest with you.
It's so different from Dark Souls. I would have to say yeah, Sekiro, and maybe Neo 2.
Yeah.
Like, and so, like, ones that we know, I have a feeling like Neo 2 is going to fall in 2019 more than Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
For that, a little bit for The Last of Us 2. But if I was going to go on games that are actually launching this year, obviously Sekiro is coming out in like 2 months. And then Neo has not had a release date given, but I have a feeling it's like in the next 3 months, they'll be like, it's coming out late summer or fall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they're going to have to start getting the hype train going. Unless, hey, if they want to make it, if they want to slide it out to 2020, do it. Polish the hell out of that fucking thing.
Imagine that as a console launch game. That would be so cool.
You know, like we're getting to the point where we're getting to the next, like, to the launch of a console, and what games are going to be on it. I mean, dollars to donuts. Horizon 2 will be on PS5 launch title, and if Bloodborne 2 even if it exists, it's going to be a launch title.
Yeah.
It will be enough time for him to come back and work on it. You know, like, I'll bet you money Miyazaki is working with Studio Japan again, and they are working on the bones of Bloodborne 2, and he's going to come fine tune them and then put the meat on it after Sekiro launches, and then next year, boom, or the year after, you know, whatever, it'll come out. Like, I have a feeling that's the way they're running it because people forget about that. People are like, oh, well, he did Daracene, he's doing Sekiro. And it's like, yeah, but like, did you forget that he worked with Studio Japan on Bloodborne? So like he had help. I ain't saying that they did a vast majority of it, but he has people to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And he could be bouncing back and forth between him even now as Sekiro's entering the final leg of its development cycle, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, Sekiro and Neo 2 for this year and Division. Division 2, I'm kind of pumped for Division 2. So
Corey?
I mean, right now it's probably Anthem and then Fire Emblem.
Okay.
For Switch. Although you could probably throw
fall, Fire Emblem.
They don't have
They haven't announced the date. Okay.
No, they just said 2019. So
okay, cool.
You could probably throw Luigi's Mansion 3 in there as well.
Cool.
I really like Luigi's Mansion a lot. But
Now that's actually a Switch game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will probably get that because I like the Luigi's Mansion. I wish I never is Dark Moon on Switch now?
No, Dark Moon still.
They ported the original to 3DS, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because that fucking makes so much sense, Nintendo. God damn.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the list of like, the thing is, this year with Nintendo, they have a ton of like support games. Like they just don't have any A tier games yet. Like, I mean, Pokemon's the only one right now that's been announced. That's like, this is our tent pole, gonna sell systems game, right? Yeah. They've got a lot of ports coming over. They've got a lot of, Mortal Kombat 11's coming to Switch, so that's kind of a big get for them.
And that Yoshi game never came out.
It's coming out in March 29th.
So,
but they've got a ton of Final Fantasies coming out. They have Wolfenstein and Doom are both coming. So, I mean, they've got a lot, but they don't have like they just don't have that A tier game, unless they're like planning. I don't know. I don't see Metroid being this year. A lot of people say that Animal Crossing is going to be a tentpole game for them. I'm just like, I don't. Is Animal Crossing that popular? Like, I don't know.
One lady it was.
Yeah. Well, Is Animal Crossing that popular? I mean, I don't really know anybody that plays that much Animal Crossing.
Every time an Animal Crossing game has come out, I hear, like, I know the last time one came out, I was listening to multiple podcasts where all of them were like, yeah, I can't wait to get into Animal Crossing, do my daily stuff, and then move on. And that goes on for a little bit, tapers off slowly or quickly, depending on the podcast I was listening to at the time, and then never heard about it again. And that last Animal Crossing, the Happy Home Designer or whatever, just did not.
I mean, that's not really a real Animal Crossing game, is it?
Right. That didn't. No one talked about that, to my knowledge.
I mean, I guess I could like look up stats, but.
And Deshaun's still in the chat. He said, "My daughter loves Animal Crossing, and so do her friends. It'll be big." Okay.
Yeah, for the parents that have kids that have Switches.
I guess it is popular. So Animal Crossing sales to date, the last major entry, New Leaf, sold 12 million copies.
Yeah, that's big.
The Wii version sold 5 million copies.
Yep, that's big.
The DS version sold 12 million copies. The GameCube version sold 3 million copies.
Wow.
And even that Wii U Amiibo Festival game sold over 1 million copies. So, Animal Crossing's popular. My bad.
Sure.
What you mean? We don't know everything? Huh? Weird.
It's almost like Pokemon. I mean, but people, like, when you hear the name Pokemon, people know it's popular. But like everybody, apparently, a lot of people are like, I'll pick up a system and I'll get Animal Crossing when it comes out. So, and that's good for them. More power to the people that are enjoying it, because that could be a tentpole, for Nintendo.
Yeah. I'm just, the list Nintendo has this year is a bunch of games that I'm gonna play because I like them, but like nothing you could probably like sell systems for. Like,
Right.
I don't think Fire Emblem's that game, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm really worried about Three Houses. By the way, that game is not. It's doing a lot of things. So,
What do you think that they would try and put out that could sell systems for the holiday season?
I mean, Pokemon.
You think they'd have something up their sleeve for
Pokemon's gonna sell systems. There's rumors of a sequel to Mario Rabbids. I think those two could sell systems. I think. Hold on, let me bring up my
Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, but that's not coming this year. If it comes this year, I will
eat your hat.
Yep, I'll eat my hat. That was a joke from somewhere.
Y'all heard it here. Deshaun.
Keep tabs on Corey.
I had a list of Switch games coming out, but I don't know where it's at anymore, so I guess we're not reading them.
I feel like I think for me personally, there's a lot more room for indies this year.
Yeah, I think that I'm more excited for stuff we don't know is coming out.
All right,
yeah.
I found my list of Switch games coming this year. The big ones: the 2D Mario game port, Travis Strikes Again, Shovel Knight's getting their physical edition, Mortal Kombat, Final Fantasy 10, 10-2, and 12, 9 and 7 also at some point.
Jeez.
Team Sonic Racing, Crash Team Racing, and Ace Attorney trilogy is coming out in February. Animal Crossing, Bloodstained. Daemon X Machina. I think that's a cool looking game, but I don't know.
That game looks good, but yeah, I'm definitely waiting.
Fire Emblem Three Houses, Luigi's Mansion 3, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. There's a rumored Pikmin game supposed to come out this year. Resident Evil 1, 0, and 4, Saints Row the Third, Sayonara Wild Hearts. I mean, that looks cool for rhythm game fans, but it's not me. So Town, which is developed by the Pokemon team, Wolfenstein, and Yoshi's Crafted World is what we know right now.
I don't think any of those are system sellers.
That's what I'm saying. And then you have Bayonetta 3 and Metroid with a question mark by their release dates. So,
yeah.
Also, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is also supposed to come to Switch at some point. But none of those are system sellers except for... I think the hype for Metroid Prime 4 is real. Like, I think a lot of people are looking forward to that game. I know Metroid statistically doesn't sell well, but I feel like this one's going to be different.
Well, the Metroid Prime games were like the good indie bands albums before they signed major labels. Like that was the only real time I can remember people talking about Metroid in terms of a current relevance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's always said, "Oh, Super Metroid is one of the best games ever. Original Metroid is one of the best games ever." Whatever, but like, no, that's always been a hindsight is 2020 situation. But Metroid Prime, like, they were kind of poised to do something kind of special, and then they tried something different, and so many people hated it. Other M got a bad fucking rap.
See, I didn't think Other M was that bad.
No, I don't either. It's just it was the situation of, well, this isn't what I wanted.
Plus, it was on the Wii, dude. Come on, you shouldn't be making that type of game on the Wii. I'm sorry, the Wii's controller is the worst.
Oh yeah, it's garbage.
I'm sorry. It was good for Wii Sports, and it was good for Pikmin 3 on the Wii U.
Yeah,
those are the only two games I stand by for the Wii remote.
Yeah.
So. Because that's the only way you can throw Pikmin while you're running was with the Wii remote nunchuck.
True. Okay, so we're gonna move on because we're cutting short on time.
Whose fault's that?
Yours. You talked a lot. I don't know. It's probably mine. It's probably mine. Best gaming or nerd memory. Mine is still when I got the original Legend of Zelda the day I got my Nintendo, 32 years ago.
Yeah, I still think mine is the Christmas I got my Nintendo 64 when my grandma came in and gave me, like, I got the game, but then, you know, she had the system in her car and she told me she had one more bag out in the car and it was that. So it was pretty cool. That was the short version. I've told that story on this show like 45 times.
Same here. Yeah, it's still that. I mean, I have other nerd memories, but it really all stems from that. Moose?
Getting my Nintendo 64, man. Playing Mario with my brother. Just kicking off this addiction. Or love. It's love.
I'll tell you my worst gaming nerd memory. Opening Best Buy when I was a 15-year-old on Black Friday when the Nintendo 64 was on sale. That was traumatic. It was traumatic. It was
you were working there? Or?
Yeah, I was working there. Yeah, I was working.
That's rough.
Yeah, I was scared shitless.
Oh, I bet, man.
Watched a whole bunch of people get in fights, and
That'll happen.
One like I was carrying our last one up for a system, and one guy offers me $100 for it. I'm like, I can't do that because that lady she's paying for it as we speak. And he's like, come on, I'll give you here's $100. And then another guy comes over and goes, I'll give you $200. I'm like, no. And then both of them started fighting like right in front of me, and I had to talk to the cops about it. Like it was bad.
People are crazy.
Fuck.
Crazy. I mean, I will say, like, since digital time, like the internet, like things have been getting easier to like pre-order stuff.
Oh yeah, like none of it doesn't happen.
Like when the PS5 and the Xbox 2 drop,
the next box.
When the next box drops and the PS5 drops, you know, like that holiday season, you could get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be that big of a deal. So, like, demand will be high, and they'll be able to meet the demand. So, luckily, hopefully, things like that won't happen. People will just be fighting over the fact that they don't have 4K TVs for them to play them on.
Yeah, I will just order mine online like an adult. Justin Doss, one of our favorite Canadians on this show. Super Bowl picks.
Rams.
I want the Rams. I do want the Rams.
I don't want the Patriots to win, so I guess I'll have to go with the Rams.
I think everybody in the country has become a Rams fan except the state of Massachusetts.
Although I really am disappointed the Saints didn't go because I would have loved to seen Drew Brees just annihilate Tom Brady in a Super Bowl in like a last appearance of a Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
That would be awesome.
But
I mean, look. Tom Brady may be a great quarterback. I think he's a fucking prick. So I want to see him lose. That's it.
I'm just tired of hearing about him.
And you know what? I almost can't wait for the pre-Super Bowl lead up to where we find out, oh, he's cheating again. And no one's going to do anything about it again.
Yep.
So take your 5 Super Bowls and fuck off, Tom Brady. Rey Osorio, El Capitan. Thoughts on the Battle Royale craze? I think it's cool.
It's fun.
It's cool.
I
enjoy my time with blackout mode.
Yeah.
And Fortnite fun.
They keep reinventing ways to play it. I mean, we were talking about it. Quad mode of Blackout and Black Ops 4 is going to get respawning. So, like, if your team is wiped out except for you, but you make it to the next closing of the circle, your team respawns. And so you have a chance. It, like, helps your squad come back. And, you know, I think that'll be cool. You know, and we were talking about when we were playing, like, let us, like, run around like idiots in the starting area and pick up gear. And some of that stuff carries over, like you drop with it. Oh, you made it to bandages but no gun. Okay, well you start the game dropping in with bandages but no gun. You have a gun but no ammo. Well, you got the gun. Gotta find, you know what I mean? Like, I think it would be cool. It would add, like, you know, a cool aspect to it.
Well, that means I'll actually have to do something in that loading area than try and punch the shit out of you, Moose.
True. But I think it's cool craze. People like to shit on stuff. Just I mean, they want to do it just because it's Fortnite.
Yeah, or they want to do it because it's popular. Oh, I like.
I think it's going to be around for a while. It'll just be interesting to see how they try and innovate on it to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
So I think Blackout is really good because it's the most realistic version of it. And like I said before, when I talked about playing Blackout, Fortnite is cool because it's got the building aspect. Like I think they're both equally good. I don't really like one over the other. Which one am I going to be playing? Probably Blackout more, just simply because the people I game with play that more. So,
I mean, and I'll just say it sucks that PUBG has kind of fallen off the way it has. But at the same time, like,
I mean, it's still
at the same time you got to change. You got to adapt, and they did not.
Well, it was the number one selling game for December.
Yeah, for PlayStation. I mean, it's still going. It's just like it's fallen out of the cultural zeitgeist. It still has its like, its audience or whatever. But I still like it. That new map's coming out next week, so
like that new map looks cool. I think.
Yeah,
it's the snow map, right? Vikendi or whatever.
Is it the snow? Yeah, no, I think it's the small town map. The snow map's already out, I think.
Oh, is the snow map already out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that one I think looks cool. So I don't know.
That it does.
Look, man, I think the first person shooters aren't going away, and they're still very popular as they are. And finding new ways for people to interact with them is a good thing. Finding new ways for people to play games is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
As long as that keeps happening, I still have one of my many hobbies.
Yeah.
So that's it for questions. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Deshaun. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Alan. And thank you to everybody else I might have forgotten because I'm literally going from memory.
We need to get Alan on here one day.
I
know he lives like
he lives in
Ireland or
Is
Scotland.
it Ireland?
Scotland. I don't know. He
lives across the Atlantic.
One of those funky places with a cool accent that we will never be able to have.
Nope.
I think it's Scotland. I'm sorry.
We'll just have to record on a Saturday or something. Do a special episode.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd do it. But yeah, no, I'd love to have Alan on. He's a solid dude. Yeah, let's get out of here. This has been episode 129. My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me at @infinite_rewind on every social media platform possible. Check out my top 20 albums of 2018 list on ngrradio.com. And then Moose, Shepherd of Nerds Gone Platinum. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Sven on all social media platforms that you should be on. Just like Matt said for himself, you can find me talking about the PlayStation platform. We go live 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Between 8:30 and 9. I mean, sorry, not 8. 8:30 and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's roughly when we start on YouTube, and you can join us in the chat. We'll, talk to you, chat with you, answer some questions if you got any. You can email us questions, comments, concerns at nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com. You can tweet us at ng_platinum. Just come and join us and have a good time. You can check us out, our Facebook page. Come join the community. We're trying to hit the 100 subscribe mark on YouTube, so be on the lookout. We're going to be doing a special contest. We're still trying to put that together for when we hit 100. So kind of like a tiered journey to 100 subscribers. So anyways, that's what we're doing.
Nice.
The prize? PUBG on PlayStation.
Actually, I'm not saying 100 subscribers. I meant episode 100.
Oh, episode 100. Yeah, you guys are getting close finally, aren't you?
We're getting close.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. We're trying to get
you guys are what?
subscribers, so we're kind of running like a parallel contest. It'll probably be like a PlayStation Network card.
Okay.
Or it might just depend. We might actually just buy a digital code of a game a really good game and just give that away. You know,
Have you guys hit the 90 episode mark yet, or no?
I think we're in the 80s.
Okay.
Somewhere. So
this week will be episode 83.
Yeah.
I just converted from the Apple Podcast app to Pocket Cast, and they're on there too.
Yeah.
I subscribe.
They're also on Castbox.
Yeah. Corey, take us home.
You can find me on the internet at Corey in HD everywhere, somewhere. You can just search for me. I don't even care. I'm tired. It's been a long weekend. You can find me on Twitch streaming some Destiny, and this weekend Anthem because of the demo. So you can find me streaming there. You can find me on Nintendo Power Block, where we finally hit that 100 sub mark. So finally, that was a struggle. Yeah, you can check out our other new shows, Javelins for Hire, our Anthem podcast, Dark Zone Junkies, which Moose joins us on, about the Division, and Tower Casuals, our Destiny podcast for the Casual Guardian. That's what we have branded it as. So you can check those out. You can also check out our Xbox show, Arsenal X, and go to ngrradio.com for all of our fun ways you can interact with us. So if you want to find someone specific or show to subscribe to, you can just go to ngrradio.com/subscribe. All the links are there. So and also a video of the playlist of each show, so you can get an idea of what show is if you haven't listened to one already. So
very well.
Yeah, you can find NGR Radio every Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, or you can join us live that evening at 8:30-ish. Throw that ish on there. It's usually like 8:45, but 8:30-ish. So, anyways, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, we love you.
Banana and out.
Well.